If you've stumbled upon this video right now, it's not an accident. Something far greater than luck has brought you here. Your future self, the version of you that already exists as a complete possibility, has been sending out signals across time. And at this very moment, you've tuned in. This isn't just random scrolling. This is a quantum meeting point, a conversation you programmed long before you knew what it meant. Take a breath with me. In the quantum field, every timeline exists simultaneously, your past, your present, and your future, all vibrating in parallel frequencies. The version of you that has already broken free from the struggles you face today has been reaching out through whispers, synchronicities, and intuitive nudges, guiding you into this very encounter. You've already crossed the threshold. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. The universe doesn't waste energy on closed systems, and your awareness just signaled that it's ready to expand. In this single moment, right now, with this inhale, your trajectory has shifted. Some point, maybe minutes ago, maybe months ago, you've stopped fighting reality. You dropped the argument that things should be different. In silence, you surrendered to the intelligence that has been orchestrating your path all along. That moment was your graduation. Your frequency signature shifted from resistance to permission, and the quantum field responded instantly. Your future self knows something you are just beginning to remember. Consciousness doesn't merely witness reality, shapes it. Every thought you nurture, every emotion you embody, every belief you carry generates ripples in the quantum field. And when those ripples reach a critical level of coherence, lined with a deeper pattern of who you are becoming, timelines collapse into manifestation. Here's the real secret about quantum jumps. They don't happen by force. They happen by recognition. You don't create a new timeline, you'll recognize the one you've already been building. You don't manifest a future, you remember it until it becomes your lived reality. The version of you that already holds everything you've been seeking exists right now, extending a hand across time, transmitting the frequency codes you need to tune into its reality. And this is the turning point. The waiting, the struggle, the endless effort that was your old operating system. You've been running outdated software, trying to force results that only emerge through alignment. Your future self has already downloaded the update and is streaming it into your awareness in this exact moment. The field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are. And beyond your inherited patterns, beyond your stories and limitations, you are already whole, already connected, already resonating at the frequency of everything you've ever longed for. The gap between who you think you are and who you really are is dissolving. Let me break down a piece of timeline mechanics that changes everything. In quantum physics, the observer effect shows us that consciousness collapses infinite probabilities into a single lived experience. But here's the deeper truth. You're not passively observing your life. You are the quantum observer, collapsing timelines into reality every time you choose presence over autopilot, every time you choose love over fear. Your future self isn't just abundant, healthy, or successful, it's coherent. It has learned how to hold vibrational integrity no matter what's happening outside. It discovered that reality is responsive, not rigid. It understands that manifestation is simply conscious participation in the eternal dance between intention and attention, between possibility and probability. And right now, that future you is transmitting data, not in words, but in resonance, at that deep feeling that something is shifting, something is unlocking, something that was stuck is finally flowing again. Even your body is responding. Your cells are reorganizing. Your nervous system is recalibrating to hold higher frequencies of possibility. The test you passed wasn't external. No one gave you a certificate. The test was internal. Are you ready to stop living as a victim of circumstances and start living as a conscious creator of your experience? Are you ready to stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "How is this serving my evolution?" Are you ready to stop waiting for permission and start giving it to yourself? Your future self has watched you move through trials, challenges, in moments where you almost quit, but didn't. It saw you choose growth over comfort, truth over convenience, authenticity over approval. It knows every experience, especially the hardest ones, prepared you for this moment of recognition. This is the instant where you stop living life by default and start living by design, not by controlling outcomes, but by aligning with the deeper current that has been guiding you all along. Your future self knows reality isn't shaped through manipulation, it's shaped through calibration. It's by tuning your inner frequency to match the reality you desire to experience. You collapse the timeline into being. The timeline you've just unlocked isn't about getting different things. It's about becoming a different version of yourself. It's about embodying the you who already has access to everything you've been seeking, because you've become the vibrational match for it. This new timeline isn't defined by what you have. It's defined by who you are. Being in peace, being in flow, being in harmony with the intelligence that animates everything. You spent so much energy trying to rearrange circumstances, pushing and forcing outcomes. But your future self learned the secret. Change your consciousness, and reality has no choice but to rearrange itself around your new frequency. Shift your inner dialogue, and suddenly, the outer world begins speaking a different language to you. Change your relationship with time, and time itself begins to serve you rather than control you. That's why synchronicities have been multiplying in your life. That's why certain people are fading out, while others are entering at exactly the right moment. That's why the opportunities that demand your authenticity are showing up with clarity, while the ones that required you to betray yourself are dissolving without a fight. The universe is responding directly to your new vibrational signature. And your future self wants you to anchor a truth that changes everything. You are not late. You were never late. Every delay was a divine redirection. Every detour was training. Every closed door was protection in disguise. The timing of your awakening couldn't be more precise, because the version of you capable of receiving this insight didn't exist until now. You had to become the person who could step into this timeline. The old version of you was always trying to become. The new version of you simply is. It is abundant, it is loved, it is guided, is supported. Not because it earned something or figured everything out, but because that is the very nature of consciousness when it remembers itself. When it stops hiding, stops apologizing for existing, stops shrinking to keep others comfortable. Your future self doesn't waste energy worrying about what others think anymore, because it finally realized that other people can only reflect their own consciousness back to themselves. It stopped taking things personally because it understands that everyone is living inside their own vibrational reality. It no longer tries to control perception because it's too busy enjoying its own state of being. And here's what makes this shift so powerful. It's not just personal, it's collective. Every time one person steps into their authentic power, they create a resonance field that makes it easier for others to do the same. Your awakening ripples outward through the quantum field, touching lives you may never meet. Your healing becomes a catalyst for the healing of others in ways you'll never fully comprehend. But this is the reminder your future self wants you to hold above everything else. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about living a life free of challenges. It's about meeting challenges from an entirely different consciousness. It's not about controlling life. It's about dancing with it. It's not about getting everything you want. It's about wanting everything you receive, because you trust the intelligence weaving it all together. The future is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you, and the version of you that exists in your highest timeline has been holding space, waiting for the moment you would remember that you are not a passive observer, but an active participant in creation itself. Head has been steady, knowing that the instant you accessed this recognition, reality would bend. Your future self knows something simple, but revolutionary. Consciousness is the only technology you need. Presence is the only practice required. And love is the only force powerful enough to transform everything. That future you stopped searching outside for what was always available inside. It stopped begging the universe for signs and started remembering that it is the sign the universe had been waiting for. You are the answer to your own prayers. You are the miracle you've been chasing. You are the love you've been yearning for and had because you hit some impossible standard. But because you stopped running from the truth of what you've always been. Your future self is just you without the story that you are anything less than divine. The resistance you sometimes feel, that's only the old timeline struggling to hold on. But it has no power anymore because you've seen through the illusion. You've recognized that you are not your circumstances, you are the awareness experiencing them. You are not your thoughts, you are the consciousness observing them. You are not your emotions, you are the space in which they rise and dissolve. This new timeline you've unlocked is defined by ease. It's not because challenges disappear, but because you meet them from an entirely new position. From knowing instead of hoping, from trust instead of fear, from love instead of lack. And that shift in your frequency is what rewrites everything. Your future self navigates life like a skilled sailor who doesn't control the wind, but knows how to master the sails. It learned the secret that resistance is the root of suffering, that whatever you fight persists, and whatever you embrace transforms. It no longer sees life as something happening to it, but as something happening for it. Every experience, every encounter, every twist and turn is part of a perfectly orchestrated design meant to carry you into your highest evolution. Even this very moment, especially this moment. Your future self wants you to feel this truth, not just in your mind, but in your body. It is safe for you to be powerful. It is safe for you to be seen. It is safe for you to succeed. It is safe for you to be loved. The old stories that told you otherwise were never true. They were programs running quietly in the background of your awareness scripts you inherited but never consciously chose. And now you are ready to update them, cause the quantum field responds to clarity. The clearer you become about who you are beneath the layers of conditioning, the more reality reshapes itself around that truth. The more you align with your authentic nature, the more life flows effortlessly in the direction of your highest good. And the deeper you trust the process, the more the process reveals its perfection. Let's go deeper into what this shift in timelines really means for your daily experience. Your future self lives in a reality where synchronicity, I's and T, Reddit S, the natural rhythm of an aligned life. It has learned to read the language of the universe, to interpret the constant stream of symbols and signals flowing through experience. Not because it's special, but because it tuned its consciousness to frequencies that were always broadcasting. Think of how a radio works. It's all the stations are playing at the same time, but you only hear the one you tune into. Consciousness works the same way. All realities, all possibilities, all timelines are transmitting simultaneously within the quantum field. Your future self simply learned how to tune into the station, playing the music of its highest potential. This is why your relationship with time is about to change completely. The version of you that exists in this new timeline doesn't experience time as a linear march from lack to fulfillment. It experiences time as a continuous present single, eternal moment where everything needed is already available. Its past, present, and future collapse into a single point of creative power. This isn't poetic metaphor. This is how consciousness operates once it is no longer limited by conditioned beliefs. Your future self uncovered a profound truth about desire. It realized that what you call wanting is actually remembering. Every desire that stirs inside you is a memory of a reality that already exists within the quantum field. You don't long for the impossible. You long for the inevitable, the realities that reveal themselves the moment you align with their frequency. That longing you feel is an absence. It's recognition. It's bringing the mechanics. In physics, entangled particles remain connected no matter how far apart they travel. When one changes, the other shifts instantly. In the same way, your consciousness and your future self are quantumly entangled. Every shift you make in awareness creates an instant change in that reality. And every expansion it embodies transmits back to you as intuition, inspiration, or sudden knowing. This is why certain thoughts feel different now, heavier, with resonance, as if they sink deeper than the intellect. This is why new ideas land with a clarity that pierces beyond logic. Your future self is constantly transmitting updates to your consciousness downloads from a version of you that has already integrated what you read just beginning to touch. This timeline you've unlocked operates in what scientists call non-local consciousness. Your awareness isn't produced by your brain, it's accessed through it. The brain is a quantum antenna, tuning into the field and translating infinite possibility into lived experience. And your future self has learned to adjust this antenna with precision. That's why meditation isn't just relaxation, it's quantum technology. Every moment you spend in conscious stillness, you're literally rewiring your neural pathways to receive higher frequencies. You're reteaching your antenna how to lock onto signals from timelines where you're already living your highest potential. And here's the part most people miss. Emotion is not just feeling. It's the creative force of the universe itself. Every emotion transmits a specific frequency into the field. Joy attracts joyful experiences. Gratitude calls in moments that expand gratitude. Love magnetizes love, not because the universe is rewarding you, but because consciousness naturally amplifies whatever you focus on with emotional intensity. Okay? This is why your future self doesn't try to suppress or manage emotions. It collaborates with them. Emotions become allies in conscious creation. Okay? And this is also how your future self unlocks the power of quantum coherence. In physics, coherence happens when waves align and amplify each other instead of canceling out. When your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions move in unison toward the same intention, you generate a wave so strong in the field that reality cannot help but reflect it. This is why attempts to manifest from a divided consciousness always collapse. If your thoughts whisper, "I want abundance," but your emotions still vibrate in fear, the signals cancel each other out. That's quantum interference. But when every level of your being aligns in one truth, manifestation becomes as natural as breathing. Let me share something your future self wants you to understand about challenges in this new timeline. Difficulties don't disappear, they transform. What once looked like obstacles now reveal themselves as invitations to step into higher wisdom. Your future self doesn't run from problems, embraces them as portals. Each one asking the quantum question, who will you be in this moment? Will you contract into fear or expand into love? That single shift in perspective changes everything. Your future self still faces the same human experience as loss, uncertainty, change, but meets them from such an elevated awareness that those very experiences become gateways to deeper compassion, greater strength, and a more authentic power. It also discovered something essential about relationships. Every person in your life is a mirror of your own consciousness. When you shift your inner frequency, the people around you either rise to match it or drift away, making space for those who do. This isn't judgment, it's resonance, the quantum principle that like vibrations align. And here's another breakthrough your future self has mastered: the principle of uncertainty. It no longer panics over the unknown. Instead, it has learned to feel safe, not knowing the how, while remaining anchored in the knowing that what it seeks will manifest. This is quantum faith, kind of trust that allows the universe to orchestrate perfect outcomes even when the path is hidden. When it comes to healing, your future self realized something profound. Healing is not about fixing what is broken. It is about remembering that nothing was ever broken in the first place. Every trauma, every wound belongs to a timeline you no longer live in. And when you shift into your highest potential timeline, the past doesn't vanish, it transforms. its meaning changes entirely. Your future self looks back at its hardest moments with gratitude, because each one was raw material for wisdom. This is quantum alchemy, the ability to transmute every experience into growth. That's why your future self doesn't waste energy endlessly repairing the past. Instead, it embodies such a high frequency in the present that the past recontextualizes itself automatically. And it has also discovered the quantum nature of service. True service is not about fixing others. It's about living with such authentic integrity that others remember their own. Presence becomes the greatest act of service, and vibration becomes the real contribution. On abundance, your future self uncovered the ultimate truth. Scarcity was never about not having enough. It was about believing you were not enough. And abundance is not about acquiring more. It is about becoming more. When you embody the consciousness of abundance, external prosperity is no longer something you chase it as something that flows towards you because you've become its natural match. Now, your future self wants you to know something vital about the challenges you've endured. Every difficulty was preparation. The resilience you built by refusing to quit is quantum strength. The wisdom you earned through mistakes is quantum intelligence. The compassion you grew through pain is quantum love. You've been training for this moment all your life, and your future self is not some distant figure speaking through you right now in this very awareness. It is the part of you that recognizes truth when you hear it. It is you without limitation, without doubt, without the illusion that you are separate from love. Your awakening matters. Your healing matters. Your alignment matters. Not just for you, but for every person touched by your presence. You passed the test simply by arriving here. You unlocked a timeline by choosing to listen. You are already living your future the moment you recognize it in your present. The version of you that you've been searching for has always been here, waiting for you to stop searching outside and begin remembering what was always true. This is your moment. This is your timeline. This is your awakening. Not tomorrow, not next week, not in some distant year. It's right now, in this breath, in this choice to live as the magnificent being you already are. So, if this message stirred something within you, if you felt your frequency shift even slightly while listening, anchor it now. Write these words in the comments. I choose my highest timeline. Don't type it casually. Let it be a declaration. A signature in the quantum field. A signal that you will no longer play small. And if you want more transmissions like this, real tools for awakening, no illusions, no masks, subscribe. Not for me, but for yourself. Because every video here is crafted as a frequency code to accelerate your evolution. Activate the bell. This is pure quantum alchemy, and in a world drowning in distraction, that is worth more than gold. Now, close this video, but do not close the portal that just opened inside you. Walk like the conscious creator you are. Think differently, feel differently, manifest differently. Remember this? Once you awaken to your quantum nature, you can never fall asleep in the illusion of separation again, till the next transmission or until you decide to live fully awake.